guys, Steve again, Central Valley PC. I wanted to do like kind of a 1 year review of some items that I had made reviews about a while back, and one of them are my beloved, or is my beloved set of Skullcandy ear crushers. These are awesome, and I don't know where the pouch went. I put it somewhere, but anyways, these were the white and grays. We also have a black set too that my fiance uses. She loves them to death. They're really cool units. The sun's beaming in here now, so these things are glowing like hotcakes. But let's see if I can get a good angle. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, they have the tan leather pleather PVC sides and the cups, and the drivers are massive. It's a heavy headset, and I say it before, but these are, no matter how long you've had them, that's probably the only strange drawback you might have is how heavy they are. Like when you stick them on, I can't hear myself now, but when you stick them on, you feel them, you know. So if you got a big ass head like me, you're good, you know. Or if you are acclimated to using large headphones, you know, like you're a DJ, then yeah, perfect. I ain't no DJ, so, but I absolutely love these because they do have a built-in mic. It's kind of weird that the actual cable for these, there it is, has a microphone on it, and these also have a mic because I've used it, and so I know it has a mic. Without it, you can just have the headphone on because they are Bluetooth, they're wired Bluetooth, and there's built-in battery to power the Bluetooth side of it. And that reminds me, I actually do need to charge these now. But they haven't let me down. You know, I've been using them a lot. I go whenever I stop at a coffee shop, if I have to work on a website or do whatever. These are my go-to headphones for everything. And if I'm listening to my Joe Rogan podcast or whatnot, I slap these on, and they sound great. They block out a lot of the ambient noise, which is my favorite part of it. So, you know, owning these, as you can see, the material now is a little fuzzier than it was, a little more linty. So yeah, it's kind of fraying. I don't know if this was the best idea on their part to put a fabric on a pair of headphones. It looks snazzy, but I know over time this is going to tear to shit. So, whatever. But other than that, I mean, functionality wise, sounds exactly like it did when we first got them. I usually keep the switch for the bass attenuation down around the middle. I never really turn it up because I listen to a lot of bass heavy music, like actual like bass music, like Miami style bass, Orlando breaks and beats. Still to this day, I know I'm old. But a lot of that is very bass heavy. And a lot of the new stuff too is really designed to sound great in the car and on some loud headphones. Like they have a lot of the new hip hop. The lyrics are absolute. It's proof that idiocracy is here. Like listening to today's hip hop it's what happens when like meth and crack come together and they make babies. Like these people, hubba 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 hubba. Nobody knows what the hell they're saying, but the beat behind it, if I could just mute whatever the hell they're saying, man, the beats are amazing. They sound great. You know, I've got a pretty nice setup in the car, and single 15 ported box down to 27 hertz, and oh, it gets down. In today's music, I can do that without having to resort to playing bass mechanic and whatnot. I could just throw on a Cardi B song and deal with her voice for 10 minutes and bass my head out because it sounds fantastic. Lyrically, yeah, today's music sucks. And it sucks that the technology to make such headphones now exists at such affordable prices. Because you could buy great headphones back in the day, but you were spending $1,000, you know, $500 on some Sennheisers or whatever. Now for $100, you got yourself a killer pair of headphones that literally shakes the eyes in your sockets. Like you're just, happened to me the other day at Starbucks. I forget what I was listening to, and it hit this note, and I went like blind for a second. It was just bang. I was just rent retarded this instantaneously. But it's all because of fantastic advancements in technology, better magnets, you know, magnet composition, materials being used, structural materials as well. That has a lot to do with it. Like these are a lot heavier than most headphones. Most headphones I've had are way lighter. This thing is a tank. This is like a pound of headphone, and a pound is a lot on your head. But if you want it to sound good, it needs to be a rugged headphone, plain and simple. So these are fantastic. You will love them. I've had them over a year now. Traveled with them all over the country. They are awesome. Took them with me to Florida. Took them to Hawaii. They're in my bag every day, everywhere I go. These are with me. So if I make a stop somewhere after a call, I do an installation or whatnot, I break these out and I sit there in total silence, just jamming out to my music and not having to hear the craziness going on around me. So if you are in the market, these are still available. I think they're down to $100 now, which is nuts. I don't know about Target, but I think Amazon has them for 100. Maybe Skullcandy directly has them. They're a fantastic headphone. If you haven't bought them or are still on the fence, grab them. But they've been really good to me. They haven't loosened up as much as I thought they would because the band is really wide, so the metal band, and it's also got a good gauge. A lot of these metal bands that hold the headphone, if you notice, a lot of times the gauge is really flimsy, so the headphone just kind of like clackles together, like that little toy when you were a kid that would just bang. You could do the waggity waggity thing. It had like two balls that would just hit. It was like a clacker. I think that's what it was called. That's what these turn into after a while. And most headphones, not these. These are working out good. It still folds up nicely. It still fits in the pouch really good. And the battery life hasn't been affected. I don't use Bluetooth as much, so that's probably why. I'm usually plugged in just because I firmly believe that connected cables when it comes to audio is always going to be a better conductor of frequency. Like Bluetooth is never going to cover the full spectrum properly, not without some sort of signal loss, and not until maybe someday it will. Maybe it is now. I haven't heard any Bluetooth that is as impressive as a physical connection, a real cable with positive and negatives and a physical connection with some copper going to copper. It's always going to sound better to me. So I don't use it as much, but if I forget the cable, and I do that a lot actually, I actually do forget the the cable here. So then I turn on the Bluetooth, run it off my phone. My laptop doesn't have Bluetooth, so that's kind of why I connect it. So, but yeah, so the Skullcandies are fantastic. I absolutely love them. And another thing that I've been using profusely over the last year and a half, almost 2 years, maybe 2 years, yeah, is my RavPower battery backup. So this is my portable battery, and it's a 26,000 milliamp. I almost dropped it there. I believe this is the Ace series, and because of the light, I can't see it, but 22,000 milliamp hour. So this is the 22,000 milliamp hour one. This one's on Amazon, and I think it was like $60. I don't know, it's probably went down in price. But this thing is amazing. Like, I haven't actually charged it in over a month. I've charged two of the credit card reader and something else, and I still have 4 bars of power. So it says a lot about it. It's been over 2 years. I haven't lost anything. I think one of my USB ports is acting up, but it has 3 of them, so I have 2 other options, and I rarely have 3 things connected to it. So I don't care. It's saved my ass on a ton of occasions. This comes with me everywhere, because in the case of if I'm staying busy during the weekend, I think I'm gonna forget to charge this or this and whatnot. And now that I'm actually having a problem with this one, so I'm gonna see if I can buy another one. But the printer, anyways, my PayPal printer. But what I need to do, or what I always do, is keep this with me. Because whenever these finally die, and I get maybe a week of usage out of them, and then they will eventually, whether it's on or off or whatever, I forget to shut them off. Most of the time, it's my fault. I forget to turn it off. I kill the battery, go on from there. But what I do is, this is my backup. I hit the little button on the side. There's only one button on here, and it only does one thing, and it tells you how much power you have. And this is another device from my previous video, where I talk about the use of the micro USB cable from the Android platform of yesteryear. That's what this takes to charge. Plug it in here. And I've actually charged this on my laptop. I've charged it using any USB. It's better to charge it on an actual USB connection to an outlet than it is off of a laptop, unless the laptop has USB 3.0 outputs and a full 2.1 amp output. That's really it. But yeah, this thing lasts you forever. I take it on flights with me, and my phone. Especially my old phone was just, I had maybe half a day of battery life half the time because I use it a lot, so it would die. My new phone, oh, if you're looking for a phone that lasts you a legit 2 days on moderate usage, this is it. This is the ZTE ZMAX Blade Pro, like the Blade, whatever. The one that came out about 8 months ago. That's 6, 7 months ago, whatever. This is it. There's like a new one, I think, but it's got like a 4,000 milliamp battery in it. The battery is like the whole back of the phone, and the phone is ginormous. But for 140, 50 bucks, I've got fingerprint, the dual camera with the fake depth of field. Pretty updated features. It's not foolproof. It doesn't have a lot of RAM. It's a little slow, but the battery life, holy crap, lasts forever. So this phone has yet to let me down, and I've had this for 4 months now, and absolutely love it. For the price, does it piss me off sometimes? Yeah, because it's a little slow, but I also run a lot of apps, and so it's my fault. If I could, I would always buy a Note. A Galaxy Note. For as much as I beat on phones, the Galaxy Note, like the bigger one, I don't like the slim thing. That I don't get that. That's kind of what turned me off to that phone. For like $800 or $900, whatever it is, for such a slim breakable phone, I don't know. I'll take this, stick it in a case, and I'll make use of it. And it worked out good. I like it. It saved me $700. And as far as battery life, hasn't let me down. Whenever I have a problem with it, turn it off, turn it back on, everything works. Wow. So there you have it. That's the gist of these updates on everything. So the RavPower 22,000 milliamp battery backup, or the battery pack, awesome. Gets 2 thumbs up from me. I absolutely love that thing. I've had it almost 2 years now, and I've definitely got my money's worth out of it. It was a gift, actually, so they got their money's worth out of it for me. But it's a super cool unit, and I absolutely love it. The Skullcandies, really, you can't beat them. Fidelity wise, yes, you could. There are probably many headphones that sound better, but none will hit harder, and not at this price. None of them will sound better and hit harder at this price. You'll never find that. I've tested a lot of them for the money. Under $200, there ain't many headphones that could hold a candle to these. At the $500 range, yeah, you can. But to circumvent some of the problem that you might have with those headphones is because they are a little power hungry. They say they're not, but they are. You may want to get a headphone amp. I actually picked up a cheapy headphone amp off of Amazon, and I abuse it because my phone, the one thing about the ZTE, this is my only drawback, is the audio card. I say that. The audio card on that phone sucks. It absolutely sucks. If you listen to music on any ZTE phone, the audio quality is terrible. It's not loud enough. It doesn't put out enough signal so that if you plug it into your aux cord, it's kind of the weakest frequency item you can plug in. So I have this cute little headphone amp, and the headphone amp is a little noisy. So it adds a little, it reduces the headroom, so there's a lot of background hits when you turn it on high. But in sacrifice for that, I can adjust what would be the gain, which is the headphone or the phone itself, lower that down, raise the volume on the headphone amp. Man, it sounds incredible, and it's crazy loud. Those headphones with my headphone amp make my old car stereo sound like trash. And that was 312s in a ported box to a rear deck hitting almost 150 dBs at the dash. It was loud. These headphones remind me of that, except the mids and highs are just as good. And it cost $100. And you know, they will. I've had people look at me. They've been playing really loud, and it'll hit a note like a boom. And this guy at Starbucks looked at me. He was like, he just had this face like, the fuck are you listening to? And I had to like take, because my vision was blurry. It was amazing. And I took them off, and I was like, wow. And he was like, man, those headphones are loud. And I said, yeah, they are. And he wanted to buy a pair. And I told him what they were, and I actually let him listen to it for a second. And but I had the disclaimer. I said, look, these are loud because I have them on a headphone amp too. So they are headphone amp friendly. You can pump signal into them and get more volume out. Some headphones are not good for that. Some headphones limitations are your phone or your media player, whatever you're plugging them into. Most of the time, the amperage coming out of that is just enough. You don't need any more signal strength. But in the case of the ZTE phone as your audio source, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie, it does. It has a Dolby Digital EQ built into it. Terrible. Disable that. It doesn't work good. I use another, and I need to think of the name here. It is called Neutron. I use a Neutron media player, and it's got like a 30 band EQ, real pro audio quality stuff. So it sounds fantastic, and it improves everything that the ZTE is not doing. But the one thing it won't do is it won't make the ZTE pump out more signal. It'll just clean it up, and it does a fantastic job of that. So you have a lot of features on it. The graphic display shows full 30 bands. So visually, it's really cool. It kind of reminds me, if you guys remember the Pioneer DEQ 9200, that digital EQ that they used to make back in the day. It does pretty much everything that does as far as presets, and then it adds a lot of pro audio stuff too, like dither. What else? There's a few features on it that are more studio cleanup stuff that are actually impressive. That just to give you an idea, this is what it looks like. And there's only a few bands shown here. You can actually scroll through, and there's a little button here, and you can see more bands come through. But you can eliminate crossfeed, dither, mute, EQ, AGP. There's a preamp, so you can actually pump up the preamp a little bit. You can increase or decrease fade or create it, and you can slow down the tempo or raise up the tempo of any song you're listening to. So there's some really cool features on that app. It ain't cheap. I think it's like $5, but I bought it years ago and I love it. Neutron, check it out. But anyways, I guess that's it for now. If you have any suggestions, anything else that you need to be educated on, or have a question on, anything that I featured, or things you maybe want me to talk about, let me know. Put them down in the comments below. I'll get to work on that. And I've got a lot of cool reviews coming for more items. One of them will be, I'm letting my lips chap up a little bit here. I'm going to use this Blistex stuff not Blistex, one of those brands for apes like me that their lips get all torn up. There's the stuff I've been using. Oh man, if you get off it, your lips fall apart, but you stay on it, I'm a kissable creature again. So anyways, talk about that in the next video. But thank you for watching, and if you are in the Exeter, Visalia, Tulare County area and you need help with your computers, check out the website below. It's going to be centralvalleypc.com. Call me at 559-825-7344, or email me at support@centralvalleypc.com. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good day.